Hello, my name is Lucy and this is my channel. I just recently started this channel and I barely have a couple of animation videos, so I wanted to make something a little bit different this time. I wanted to make this kind of little vlog video to kind of take a break and recharge from everything, but also I wanted to show a part of my life that not very many people know about. So back in October, my brother and I decided to take a trip to Colombia to visit my family and just reconnect with ourselves and our goals and things like that. So this was the very first time that he decided to go to Colombia. But for me, this is the 6th time. It's actually been about 17 years since I was last there. That was when I was about 10, so it's been quite a long time. So I decided it was time for me to go back and just reconnect with my family and my roots and everything. As you can see from some of this footage, I live a pretty normalish life. I live in Southern California, so there's always something new to do, and I'm always striving to try and do something different every day. But before I went on this trip, I was actually feeling quite down. I felt like I needed to find motivation and inspiration again. Especially with my art, so that's why taking this trip was really important for me. When the day finally came, when we had to go, I was super anxious. While we were at the airport, we actually had so many issues. It felt as if the universe was telling us not to go, or if some outside force was trying to prevent us from leaving California. But once we finally got to Colombia and saw my dad waiting for us, we finally relaxed because we knew everything was going to be okay.
Se están apagando las...
Ya.
Oh, blow up. Yay!
Para la prender para que siga todo.
Don, you're gonna make me burn.
Okay, sorry.
Bien.
This is our yard. We live in the more rural area of Barbosa, so usually we have to walk or take a mototaxi to our closest bus stop, which is in an area called El Machete, and then from there we have to take a bus to wherever we need to go. It's way different to what we're used to. Usually in California we just drive or we get an Uber to where we need to go, but here we didn't have that luxury, so it kind of forced us to get out of our comfort zone.
This is so cool.
Watch this.
See. Oh, wow. Wow.
Y está feo y no hay nada. Está feo y no hay nada.
What you guys have been seeing right now is alumbrados, or lights, that we have here in Colombia. This is a fairly new tradition that's been going on for a couple of years now, at least in the areas that we went to. Usually the alumbrados are held in Medellin or Bogota, but it's now spread over to smaller towns. and going to see them is one of the traditions that we practice during the holiday season. Along with that, we also have Dia de las Velas, or Dia de la Inmaculada Concepción, which is celebrated on the 8th of October. And on that night, we usually light up candles all around the entrance of the house, and that is to honor the Virgin Mary. We also have the novenarios, which take place between the 16th and the 24th of December. And usually during that time, we offer prayers and retell the story of Jesus.
Oh, mira, tienen un
You wanna go
pesebre.
up there? Yeah.
Pa, pa, mira, tienen el pesebre allá.
That's nice.
Mira. Hasta se mueven y todo.
Yeah.
Vea pues lo que va a hacer este huevo.
At the beginning of this trip, I was actually set to return on the 31st of December, but I ended up extending my trip to the 21st of February, partly because of health reasons, but also it had been about 3 years since I'd seen my parents, and I really missed them. Part of it had to do with COVID, but it had been a long time since we had all been together in family, so that was partly the reason why I decided to stay. And in that time, I found myself finding happiness again in the smallest and simplest of things, and I was really learning to just enjoy and play again. I guess finding like that childlike wonder again in just the smallest and simplest of things. I detoxed from social media and all my streaming apps, and I was listening to music just on YouTube, and I was listening to audiobooks on Audible, and I had just limited myself to just those two things. And I detoxed from my food as well, and just a lot of things. I even had a limpia done, and so in a sense I detoxed also from a spiritual standpoint, and I just found myself letting go of a lot of old baggage and a lot of things that were holding me back, just both, I guess, spiritually, mentally, physically. And I realized, I've been holding myself back a lot. Like I took myself far too seriously just being here in California with all the stresses of having to be someone, having to do something with myself, and really I just needed to be content with myself, with who I am as a person here and now. And it took me taking this trip to Colombia to finally realize that and discover that. And I'm really grateful that I did do it, because it really helped me find myself again and discover myself again. This footage is from the last week of my trip. I got to see so much of what I had missed out in these past 17 years that I wasn't present in Colombia. Although I'm kind of sad, bummed out, regretful that I didn't get to ride the Metrocable or telesféricos, which you'll see right now. I did get to record them though, but that's going to have to be something that we'll do for the next time I return, which I hope will be very soon. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this little piece of my life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!